This is Gary Trenzel, Chair of the Hopkinton Planning Board. I'd like to give you a quick update from our most recent meeting on Monday, August 29th, 2022. We had a number of administrative items consisting of some board appointments. We had a discussion or an update on the MBTA Communities program, which I'll get to in a little bit. We did have one public hearing on the agenda for 83 East Main Street, but unfortunately we had to continue that because we did not have a quorum of eligible voters. So the meeting was largely administrative. As I mentioned, we had appointments for the Zoning Advisory Committee, for Design Review Board, and for the Trails Construction and Management Committee. Just worth noting that we still have open seats on the Zoning Advisory Committee. This is a great committee if you're looking to build some initial experience. It tends to be somewhat project-based. It's much less of a commitment than some of our other boards. So if people have interest in these topics, I'd encourage them to consider applying for the Zoning Advisory Committee. As I mentioned, we had 4 applicants for 5 seats on the Design Review Board, and then we just had to backfill the planning board designee for the Trails Construction and Maintenance Committee. So our primary area of focus was an update from MBTA Communities program. And this is a Commonwealth of Massachusetts program that its intention is to build more housing units specifically around MBTA train stations. And what they've done is their plan is to link some components of state funding to towns and neighboring towns and their compliance with this program. So this is, it's still very much in the early stages. There's been a lot of discussion within Town Hall about how we might comply with this, and really just understanding what the requirements are for compliance. But there's a couple of noteworthy changes. So the first is that in Hopkinton, as part of this discussion, because we have in Southborough, very near the Hopkinton border, is an MBTA station. And Hopkinton has been designated as an adjacent community, which decreases the total number of units that the state is requesting. The second point I want to make here is that this isn't a requirement to build units. What the state is asking us to do is to provide zoning that allows for denser housing. So specifically for Hopkinton, what the state is asking is that we provide zoning that would allow for up to 750 units over 50 acres of property at a density of 15 units per acre. Obviously, a little scary for a lot of us, and we've dealt with a lot of growth over the past several years. We had a lot of discussion on this as a board, you know, ranging the full gamut from we need to learn more to, boy, maybe it's not even worth doing something to capture that state money. So my primary message to everyone here is we have a lot to learn. We're figuring out what our options might look like. But in reality, the state is going to continue to push and is going to continue to look for mechanisms to build more obtainable housing stock within close proximity to our mass transit options. So there's a couple of deadlines for us if we want to comply with these requirements from the state. The first is that we need to have an action plan submitted by January 31st, 2023. All this does is this outlines the steps that Hopkinton intends to take to meet those requirements. The second is that we need to have we would need to have the zoning in place by completed by the end of 2024. Just so that people are aware, zoning changes are required to go in front of annual town meeting. So based on the current timelines, we would expect whatever the proposal was coming from the planning board to be in front of annual town meeting in May of 2024. So we've got some time. The action plan is just the steps we're going to take. And then we've got to flush out exactly what we want to do with this. So more to come. So that's really it from our meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 19th. And we already have a few things on the agenda, but if you have any questions about the meeting or the topics, you can always reach out to me or John Gelsich, our principal planner.